Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Game Chat Tonight with the Huber Rebels, episode number 8. My name is Ethan,
My name is Jordan.
and today we got all kinds of stuff to talk about. We got Xbox stuff, we got Nintendo stuff, we got new games coming out, Twitter trends, and all kinds of chaos going on in the
There's
games
a little
industry
PlayStation
in
news too.
the apocalyptic year of the games industry
Okay.
2024. Pretty bad
Yeah,
this year
it's
so
not
far.
good. Yeah.
Um, what's going on with PlayStation?
Just that they announced or they didn't announce. There's a potential showcase this month, next month, very soon.
Yes, this month, rumored out. I think Jeff Grubb and maybe Grubby Grub and some other people are talking showcase this month, May. Maybe what are we, first week of May? So it could be they're saying it could be the next week or the week after or the week after.
Oh
That's how
wow,
much they know
that's
that there's
crazy.
one in May, that it could be any of the 3 weeks that is May.
That's a widespread. They're probably going to be right about one of those.
Yeah.
Um,
Could
I,
also, they could change their plans and move it to June. You never know.
we'll talk more about this like right after. But is any part of that leak or announcement like do these companies when they see blood in
It's
the
not
water
guerrilla. You think it's guerrilla marketing?
no well I was do you know what I'm like gonna ask like when they see a bad news story from Xbox, do you think they pounce and are like, hey, we got a showcase this month? No, I'm
Oh,
sure they're
I think
always in the
so.
works, they're always like right around the
You
corner, but
you can slightly pivot sometimes. So like the infamous PlayStation 4 reveal, I believe that the PS4 was originally going to be $500. And when Xbox announced all of their insanity, the leadership was like 400.
yeah.
Kill them. And then they made the little ad with the here's how you share a game on PlayStation, handing the disc to your friend. Done. So that was like not planned, but most big framework stuff is planned and in motion, and there's no way they can change that.
Right.
So are they moving the showcase up weeks? I don't think so. But I'm kind of over all these leakers because it's so vague.
uh,
Like,
as
of
long
course
as
the showcase is coming soon.
right, you would expect something from them during the summer, even though they already said they don't have that much planned for this year, but they're gonna say something. I want to
There's
bring this
announcements
up.
coming.
As long as you mentioned leakers, I have like a potential topic in a file here that I just want to bring up now. Who are these like notorious leakers? Like when they say, "Oh yeah, that person's always trustworthy for leaking Pokemon stuff." Like who is that? And why are they so trustworthy? And how are they not?
We don't know. We
But
don't know who
I
they
just
are.
like
It
also, is that not bad? Like why do we not shame those people for doing that? Or like it's always like, oh yeah, cool, we can rely on that person. It's like they're a tool. We like that they're there, but that's a pretty bad thing to be doing, no?
leak culture and gaming rumor news and all that stuff is in a very interesting spot right now. The games industry, I think we've talked about this before, is bizarre in how much it holds back more than any other industry. Like they just announced Gollum movie. Okay. Like sure. Like okay. It's not like, "Hey guys, we got to wait." And then when the trailer's ready, when it's this many months before, we announce it. They're just like, "Yeah, we're making this." Oh, and these people are involved. Like they don't care.
Right.
And we look at like the GTA 6 leaks and how much it devastated the company and stuff. I don't really think it's that devastating personally, but like I don't work there. It's not my like work getting exposed. Then you get into the like ethics of it and the NDA and all like that was like literally children hacking a company and stealing stuff. That's not okay.
Right.
Like,
But like these leakers who
and
have like a nickname, who are always like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy I go to for my Nintendo leaks." It's just that's so weird to me.
their Twitter name. Most of them are making it up, post a bunch of stuff and see what sticks to the wall. There's a few people who know people
Yeah.
in the industry. Companies have gotten better at finding those people, and it's not good when you get found. So what, like, I'm pretty sure what Nintendo started doing is they made a bunch of rumors and like announcements and stuff and leaked it
To see who
not
reported
leaked it,
it.
but like, and then that's how they found people.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of people left, but people, the the community is rabid for it. And I mean, I've been there. I spent many a years just every day. I just need it into my veins. And
Now,
how everything's in shambles.
considering that, people are rabid for it, do you think it's ever the case that these companies intentionally like leak stuff, or they have someone that they give their leaks to, like, as you don't think, just to kind of stir the pot before they do their initial, obviously probably GTA, GTA did not intend to leak the trailer the night before, but for some of these smaller things, the games that are going to be announced next week, they're like, yeah, you can put this out there, get people thinking about it, and then we'll announce it when, oh, we had to announce it early, but we really planned this the whole time. I feel like that has to have happened at some point, but
Yeah, I wouldn't say absolutely not. Even with GTA, there was like three phases to that. There was the massive leak, 100% that was a hack. Then there was like 2 days before, like one of the like top producers' sons posted like thing on his TikTok. That I think might have been like, just record it and post it.
yeah,
Because like it didn't really show anything, but it got people excited. Now, dropping the actual trailer, I think that was a YouTube issue. That was like, oops, okay, because we uploaded it to YouTube and then something happened with that.
right.
There could be people at YouTube. Like, honestly, I don't know. I I have been on the gaming leaks and rumors Reddit since it was much smaller. Like, it is massive. Now gaming sites just report directly from that Reddit. But I remember when I found that, I was like, this is like there are not a lot of people on here.
Yeah.
And it's just now it just all feels kind of also stupid because things change. Like, I don't know. Part of what we're going to talk about today is from that though.
Right.
Like,
Right.
it's fun to talk about, and I don't think it's hurting anybody. So onward and upward.
As long as it's not like the Insomniac leak, like that's bad. That's damaging. That's very
I'm
hurtful.
happy. I'm happy you said that because that kind of exposed the industry, I'll say. Because when the Insomniac leak happened, everybody was like, don't report on it. We
Right.
love Insomniac. Don't report on it. We love them. We feel so bad for them. It's like, where was this for absolutely everything else that's ever happened?
Right.
Now you don't want to talk about it because you know them? Like, I support that. But, like, how about some
Be
consistency?
consistent. Yeah.
I digress.
What cheery news
Well,
do we have to talk about this week?
without anybody leaking anything, Xbox is just shooting itself in the foot over and over again.
Yeah.
I don't know how up to the. I actually have some controversial in the eyes of people who just want to beat Xbox into the ground, like takes on this that are a
Sure.
little more level headed. Um, does not get them above water. But how familiar are you with what's transpired over the last few days?
Pretty familiar, but lay it out for the people.
So Xbox, third place for like over 10 years now, has been trying to dig out of the hole that they put themselves in with the Xbox One, the previously mentioned Sony 399 PS4 generation taking over, et cetera, et cetera. No first party exclusives. They've been on a shopping spree, buying up all these studios so that they can have some games. talking about how they want to support all these studios and get these titles and running Game Pass, launching Game Pass, and that has become the, I don't know, talk of the town. Like everybody's trying to see, is that going to be the future? How do we emulate this, et cetera,
Right.
et cetera? There's been some controversial opinions. I got my first Xbox because I was like, all right, this Game Pass deal seems pretty cool. I'll get Halo and like all these other games that they have coming. I'm gonna give my opinion straight up. Has not paid off. I'm still happy to have an Xbox and stuff, but like really haven't missed out on too much.
The price for what you're
If we're
getting
being
is
honest,
not completely worth it.
not even the price, the time. There's nothing that's worth the time, and I have less and less time, and it's just not there. I was happy to have Starfield at launch, although I didn't even play it that much. Now, granted, they're fixing it, and I'm going to come back to that. Um,
It's like
there's been
maybe
some
two
great.
things per year, right? That are like, okay, the fact that this is, but also you've already paid how many dollars per month in between then to get to this point? It's like I could have just bought this game.
I don't feel too bad because I've gotten like all those deals. So I've done it cheap. I've done it affordably.
Yeah.
Having an Xbox and Game Pass with access to all these games, and there's to me it was never about the first party. That was a bonus, but all the other third party games that come first and indies and all of that like make it worth it. But at the end of the day, I don't own any of them.
Right.
So if I decide to turn my subscription off, they're all gone. And they come off the service. So I don't have this library that I built. So I'll say I am tempted. I can see a time where maybe I sell it and don't do Game Pass. However, I have it. It's cool. I have an Xbox. I never had an Xbox. Do I ever see myself getting another one? Absolutely not.
Really.
I not the way it's going.
I personally wonder how many more there will be.
I think they'll continue to make them.
I
They're
don't.
PCs. They're all in one PCs. That's all it is.
I know,
But
but
for me personally, would I rather invest in a PC?
yes, I think you should.
And that's kind of where my head is at right now. We haven't even I so Xbox closed two studios. They closed Arcane Austin and they closed Tango Gameworks. Have you played any of their games?
No, I don't think so.
I think you'd like Hi-Fi Rush.
I keep hearing about it. Obviously, it was very highly regarded from last year, but I honestly don't even think I've ever watched gameplay of it. Like, I don't even know what it looks like. I'm gonna look right
It's
now.
cool. I
Wait.
played 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to beat it. Had nothing to
Yeah.
do with the game. I was just like, not right now. I'll come back to this later. Tango Gameworks, Japanese studio. They also made The Evil Within, and I believe Ghostwire Tokyo, but I could be an idiot and wrong there. Um, Under Bethesda, I believe.
Yes.
Smaller
Which I did not
studio.
know. I didn't
Xbox
know these studios were under Bethesda.
ZeniMax, massive company. So there's
Okay.
Bethesda Softworks, who makes Fallout and Elder Scrolls and Starfield. That's Bethesda
Right.
Softworks, all which is under the greater Bethesda. Also ZeniMax, right? Elder Scrolls Online, Tango Gameworks, etc., etc. This is the etc. episode. Um, so there's been a lot of comments that Xbox has made because they shut them down. Uh, a lot of comments that Xbox has made over the years and Phil Spencer has made over the years, all getting thrown back in their face. Not a great look right now. They talked about how they wanted to support creative ambition and they wanted award-winning games, both of which Hi-Fi Rush ticked the box
Did.
on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of threads here, but they're all going to come together. That's why it all ties back to Game Pass, I think. And so they, out of the blue, announced they're shutting that down. So they now don't have a Japanese studio. So
Right
they're
after Hi-Fi Rush came to PlayStation.
not even, it's not even out on
Is it not
PlayStation.
yet?
And we don't even, no, I don't think so.
Oh,
And it's now uncertain if it's going to come to
if it
any
will.
other platform. Yeah. Because it was also slated for the Switch.
Are you sure it's not on there?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's on there.
Okay, so they Switch was going to be harder to develop for
And they
because
said
it was
it will continue on all current platforms when they close down the
yeah.
studio. Like so, it's just weird how they just like I guess kind of sold it off and right before closing the studio, like they just kind of said like, "Hey, PlayStation, can you give us some money to have this game
Oh.
on your platform or whatever?" I don't know.
Yeah, I mean they're trying to get sales because they didn't have to sell it because it was on Game Pass. Because I think there's a lot of people like me that have an Xbox and Game Pass and aren't buying any games. They know they have the numbers. Now, it makes you think, if I didn't have Game Pass and this award-winning game was out there, probably go buy it,
Yeah.
especially at a low price point. That's all gone. I don't know how much they like you're splitting the Game Pass subscription across all of this. And so we'll focus. I know no, we'll do it all and then we'll cover it. So they also closed Arcane Austin, who made Prey. I think I told you a lot about Prey over the years. Another game I still have not finished, but very much want to.
Yeah.
They are the ones that made Redfall,
Not as good.
the massive failure vampire weird shooter game,
Online.
whatever. That was just horrible.
Yeah.
Didn't work, buggy. I never thought it sounded interesting. So they got closed down. They're just like, nah, you're done. You can assume what the reaction on Twitter and the internet has been. Evil Microsoft, evil Xbox. You guys are horrible. How could you do this? Um, I'm not saying that they're right, but I like to get a little bit deeper into
Yeah.
like, okay, but why? They're
Yeah.
not just like, you know what? We hate ya. Screw all of you and your stupid jobs. We don't care about you. Um, doesn't justify it, but I'm like, I'm curious why. So Jason Schreier, the goat of game reporting, uh, funny. I saw this because he responded to a tweet of some guy being like, what did he say? I don't want to get this wrong. He was like, Microsoft basically said, anybody who is pitching a game, we're closing. And he responded, he's like, no, that's not what happened. It just so happened that the two studios they decided to close were at the stage of pitching a game. They didn't close them because of that. It's like a weird timing thing because they just spent $70 billion on Activision. And they're like, where's the money? Make it up.
Right.
Those two studios are not in a position to do that. It sucks. It's less about right now and more about why they never should have done all this consolidation in the first place.
100%. Yeah.
And why Game Pass is just probably not a viable model. And funnily enough, Sean Layden, formerly of PlayStation, he's been retweeting an article. He's like, yeah, I talked about this years ago. He
Wow.
said Game Pass would not be viable unless they get to like 50 million subscribers or something like some very large
That's
number.
so crazy because like I feel like for the past few years we keep hearing about whether it's been up and down a little bit, I don't know, but they're making a lot of money with Game or they have a lot of subscribers. It's bringing in a lot of money. It's like, wow, they must be killing it. But like you said, when you have to then spread that across all of these games that are then free on that platform, you're probably not making that much money.
And they were also
And
saying that based on growth.
yeah,
They were growing and then it stopped.
because they don't have enough announcements to get people excited to then come and sign up for it. Like they have some, they've been doing
I don't
better this
even
past year, but like they have not been killing it. Being in third place and also having to bring in people to the subscription model, is not viable.
Honestly, I don't even think that's what it is. I think it is the same effect we've seen on all of the streaming platforms. Netflix didn't run out of content, and that's why their subscriber growth slowed.
Yeah,
There is a ceiling.
sure.
You can only get so many subscribers, and you're on one platform. You were gonna hit the ceiling eventually.
Yeah.
And now Netflix, they had the option of like, well, we know people are sharing, so let's kick them all off, and that'll give them an opportunity to grow, 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 grow. I don't see how Microsoft can grow, 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 grow unless they put Game Pass on Switch and Game Pass on PlayStation, and then you're just going to hit another ceiling. Because,
That's probably why they've been talking about anything is an Xbox, right? Like,
yeah,
really, if whoever you are, whatever you have, even though you can't yet, like, that's not a thing yet, but like, you will be able to play Xbox and everything. It's like, well, when is that going to happen?
it feels a little bit like a pyramid scheme. Like everything's kind of a pyramid scheme, right? It's based on like, well, if we keep growing, then we keep, and it ran out.
Yeah.
And they don't, like you said, they don't have the titles to back it up. And even if they did, they can't sell them, which is kind of why they did it in the first place. I was never going to buy Forza, either of them. But I was like, hey, if I Game Pass, I'll get to play Forza. Guess what? Downloaded them both, played them for 5 minutes. I don't care.
So, I mean, they did get money where they wouldn't have before. So, in a way, it is working somewhat. But, like all of the money that you've subscribed on Game Pass, they wouldn't have gotten. But they did because they then offered you to play these games for free. So, like, it seems like
They
it
got
could
it,
work.
but I don't think it made up the cost,
No, 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 no.
especially when I was paying $1 a
Well,
month for 3 years.
oh my God, that's crazy. So, okay, without Game Pass the last however many years, where is Xbox today? Are they gone? Like, do they not exist? Like, has it been keeping them afloat? Like you say, it doesn't make up the cost. If
Probably.
there's no Game Pass and these people aren't buying the game at all, like, are they just
I
completely
saw
blown
someone
up?
put it I saw someone put it like they are a part of Microsoft. Microsoft is one of the biggest, most successful companies in the world. Even if Xbox was losing money before, it was like whatever. And then they spent $70 billion on Activision, and now it's like, oh, hey, what are you doing over there? You got to make up $70 billion. That was the miss.
I'm sorry if this is a dumb question. Who bought Activision? Xbox or Microsoft? Or does it matter?
Both. Xbox
Right.
is a division. Xbox
I
Gaming is a
know.
division of Microsoft.
I know, but
It's Microsoft's money.
right. Yeah, yeah.
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 And now, what do? Do you put Call of Duty on Game Pass?
Yeah, you should, right?
Why?
No, I don't know. Because it's going to sell like
What
gangbusters either way.
you're gonna get more subscribers to
No.
equal out $60 to $70 a game. You'll get that on PlayStation, sure, but like I already have Game Pass. I get like someone's gonna run out and buy an Xbox to get Call of Duty on Game Pass. Maybe if it was exclusive,
Which it won't
but
be for what,
they
10
can't,
years?
and it won't be
No.
because they'll lose money. There's too much money to be had.
Yeah.
The financials just don't make sense.
Yeah, if you're putting Hi Fi Rush over onto PlayStation, you're sure as hell going to put Call of Duty everywhere you possibly can.
Yeah, including on whatever the next Switch is.
Yeah.
So they got a lot to figure out. Going back to the studios, so they closed Arcane Austin, making immersive sim games, etc. They missed on Redfall. You could say you could say maybe they gave them a year to fix it, but like there wasn't money coming in right there, and that's not fair to that team to pay the price for Microsoft's decision.
Yeah.
Like I'm not arguing that. It's just not. They're just like, man, we hate you. Like we're cutting you. It's like this is why consolidation is bad, because now it's like you gotta pay the price and whatnot. Um, Thankfully, I think some of those people are gonna get picked up. I saw Ken Levine tweet out because they make immersive sims, Judas, etc., being like, "Hey, we need y'all. Like, come over here."
I'm
What were you
glad
gonna say?
there are still people in places that can absorb some of these people. There's too many people to absorb. They can't all be picked up, but I am glad there are still places that are in need of people. I am honestly with you. Like obviously the layoffs and everything, they're terrible and they're heartbreaking and all that stuff. But like I am with you with not necessarily liking the voice that people attribute to these whole situations of it's just these like evil people like just not caring about humans. All they care about is like I know there are some of those people, but that is not what the case is every single time. It's just
Also, they were always businesses
it's always
that
businesses.
want your
It's always
money.
business. Yes.
They're not your friend. You're consuming entertainment. They're
And then
not your friend.
it's funny how, when it does happen and, people start talking about Phil Spencer, it's like, "Oh, well, obviously, this wasn't Phil Spencer's doing. There's people above him and like I'm sure he's really distraught right now." It's like what when are we picking and choosing whose fault it is? I thought it's everyone is evil who runs a corporation, like
He,
that part's annoying too.
they've said a lot that like I think the biggest thing I take away isn't like blame and morals and ethics. It's I don't trust you now.
Yeah.
That is at the end of the day. I'm like, you guys are gonna say a bunch of stuff and you're gonna do a bunch of stuff and like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like it's video games at the end of the day. Like we love them. They're fun. They're exciting. Uh, it's horrible that people's lives are on the line. It's also why I did not want to get into the industry
Yeah.
because it's so volatile. And this does not just apply to the games industry. This includes Hollywood. People that want to go be actors and be in movies and stuff. That is a hard life, except for the lucky few.
Right.
And if you love it enough, you grind and do it. It's the same thing for sports. Not everybody goes to the major leagues and gets a bunch of money. Like
Not
people
not
are
everyone
traveling the
stays
world.
in the major leagues for very long.
That too, like they're grinding. Like somebody I work with, their partner. Oh my God, the stories I heard. He was like playing in Europe and stuff, and just dropped like that,
Hmm.
no guarantee.
Right.
And it's just like, oh my goodness, it's like that's unfortunately for a lot of people the price you pay to do something you love.
That's a
I
great
wish it could be
point.
better.
That happens all the time. You just get cut from a team with no warning or no say or anything, and like it's never a what about that person's family kind of a discussion. It's like, ooh, who are we gonna pick up now? Or, oh man,
Yeah.
he put up great numbers for us. Like, yeah, maybe it
I'm
should
I'm
be.
not saying who cares. Like
Yeah,
it's people at the end of the day.
yeah,
Like, and
totally.
I think that's another thing that sucks about like the gaming community is like the other side of people who do not care about the people, the human beings making these games. And I think we are not, I think we are in one of the roughest stretches ever. I think it'll get better. I think more unions will come out of it, which will hopefully prevent these companies from taking such risks. Because at the end of the day, that's what's happening. Is these are companies that have numbers to hit and are taking risks. And that's why we'll talk. We're supposed to talk more about this in the second half of the show, but
It's okay.
um,
This is a dynamic
I
show.
think I, because I have thoughts on Nintendo and stuff. So I'll actually I'll save that. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I hope they can figure it out for everybody's sake.
Yeah, I there was something I was gonna say about. It's crazy how all this stuff is. I didn't even realize that this stuff is happening because we're comparing it to numbers during COVID, which like spiked and like they
Yeah,
can't make. I didn't realize that's what all of this is a result of. That they're chasing that high that they had during COVID of all that profit, and then they can't
constantly.
exceed that, so that's why they're cutting all this stuff. The thing I was gonna say I remember was like Bethesda was looking to be bought. It's not like they got, you know,
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
wanted to. They were selling, you
Were
know,
they?
yeah, but doesn't mean they wanted their stuff closed or that they were happy with whatever anyone. If they didn't want to be sold for parts, they just wanted to be
Yeah.
absorbed and I don't know, given some money to be more creative with. I don't know.
What's funny is like Microsoft said we're going to do all of this and then we're going to have all these resources to help everybody, and now they're like, we realized we were spread too thin
Yeah, no
and we
kidding.
can't help everybody. It's like, what are you doing? Like it and that's where like I don't trust anything you're saying because now it looks like you're just talking out of your ass. I understand you're having to make decisions and all of that. Like, stop talking out of your ass and stop trying to play the good guy.
Yeah,
That is what I like low key respect about PlayStation. They're not trying to play the good guy. They're trying to win and they don't care.
yeah.
They're not giving this persona and like they'll do whatever they got to do. Um, Last thing I'll say about Tango GameWorks, I can't confirm this obviously, but apparently the head of the studio left and took a bunch of people with him, which might be also why they're closing the studio.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Which would be super valid.
I haven't
Obviously,
heard
like
anything about that.
still makes everything that they said look bad, but and that's not confirmed. I don't know if anybody has confirmed that for sure, but regardless, it's a cluster. Xbox, get your stuff together. Phil has a interview with IGN this month, and then they have the showcase coming up. So there should be some interesting developments over the next month.
Yeah. What's up with Nintendo?
Everything's just better with Nintendo. I love them. And at the end of the day, if Xbox and PlayStation died, I would be fine with just having Nintendo.
Yeah,
Like, they
I
know what
could
they're
make do.
doing. They're never gonna fail again. Um, Aside from overall storylines, uh, I was up late one night and I was on Twitter and he was like, "Hi, this is Furukawa, president of Nintendo. Just want to let you guys know we're gonna the Switch. We'll talk about it in this fiscal year, but we're not gonna talk about it in June. That's just stuff for this year. Thanks." I love their communication. It's hilarious. Who tweets like that? Like, this is the
Yeah,
most anticipated thing in the world, and they're just like, "Oh, hey, hey, yeah, okay, thanks, bye."
I love it. And
So
also,
no
like,
Switch 2.
duh, we really hoped and knew that you would at least talk about this thing before the end of the fiscal year. But glad you confirmed it.
Well, this now means it's definitely not coming out holiday,
Yeah,
and might not even come out before April 2025. So
yeah.
we'll see what they announce in June. It's going to be all games, which I'm not mad about. Metroid Prime 4 legit might get announced as like the final Switch game, regular
They
Switch game.
they sure made it seem like it's gonna be like a good like rest of the year for
Yeah.
games and content and stuff, which is crazy. For how long we've been expecting the Switch 2 to come, and this tale of the Switch 1 has been much longer than we expected, and they keep releasing stuff for it, which is very impressive.
So it'll be 8 years.
That's Are you serious? That's Oh man, yeah, that sucks.
I never would have predicted that. What's interesting is like everybody seems in consensus that like this isn't the next system. This is just like a better Switch, and I'm like, I'm fine with that. That's that's where we're at. Just we don't need to start all over. Yeah, it's
Well, I mean,
the
does
next Switch.
do they mean it's not the Switch 2 or it's not the next iteration or whatever?
I don't even know. I don't think it
Because
matters.
yeah, we don't I don't want something different. I just want a better Switch. I would like for it to be a Switch 2 and not a Switch Pro. Like I want the next generation of the Switch, but I don't need it to be something
We can
wildly
maybe
different.
we can maybe do this discussion on another episode, but like
Yeah.
what how would you delineate that?
Are we talking about another episode or right now?
Just real quick, and then we can get more into it. Like if you have a thought.
um, I mean, I'm
If
we.
you don't, we can table it.
I think like exponential power increase. Maybe not like
Okay.
into thousands, but like a massive jump up. Not like
Like, does the UI have to be different?
yes, I think so. At least much improved. Um,
Well, I'll say the rumor is that it's like going from the DSi to the 3DS. The UI changed.
yeah.
To me, that's enough. I don't need this to be anything more than that.
I think one new like physical feature, which it sounds like we're getting, I think something
Yep.
like that would kind of insinuate a next generation of the console. Again, it doesn't need to do much more than be a beautiful handheld screen with Joy-Cons that attach in some fashion. It doesn't need to be much more than that. But
Oh, it's magnetic. It's happening, and I can't wait.
I just think a PS5 and a PS5 Pro, how much more powerful is the Pro? Is it like a little bit more or
It's
is it
jump.
like a lot more?
That's been the debate. Some more stuff leaked out. Like the PS4 Pro was like 2x or something like that. I don't know. And then people were like, it's going to be 1.5 for the PS5 Pro. But then something else came out that's saying it's going to be even more. So
But a 4 to a 5
I
is
don't know.
what? Like
It's changed. It
yeah.
used to be more. I don't know what the standard is anymore. 10x? I don't know.
That's what I want from this, honestly. And that's what I feel like after 8 years, that's what I feel like this needs to be. Not
So
just a new SKU of the Switch.
people were speculating it will be between the PS4 Pro and the Series S in power,
I mean,
which, and that's, and then up powered by AI.
yeah. And for a handheld device, I think that's quite impressive. And if that's, you know, leaps and bounds better than what we have now, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I I think it'll run GTA 6. And to me, that's enough.
Yeah.
That sounds insane. Oh my God, is this thing gonna launch with GTA 6? I just realized.
Like marketed as a launch title?
Yeah.
That would be weird, wouldn't it? Do they ever do that for like third party games? Or not? Yeah, right?
What do you mean? Yeah. Yeah, oh yeah.
Do they?
For who? For GTA or for
For
Nintendo?
Nintendo.
For consoles. Uh, the biggest GameCube launch title. So we had Luigi's Mansion, that was theirs, and then it was Rogue Leader, Rogue Squadron 2, the Star Wars
Okay.
game, and that was
Okay.
their graphical showcase.
Okay.
This would be one hell of a graphical
Oh,
showcase.
for
Imagine
sure.
launching, dude, the memes. If this thing launches with a new Mario and GTA, would be epic. I'm calling it right now.
Yeah. No,
GTA and Mario launch titles for the Switch 2 sometime next summer.
I love it.
Spring to summer. About 1 year from right now,
Put it on your calendar.
regardless.
It's going to happen.
Yep. This year they're coming out with NES World Championship Collector's Edition.
Yeah. I was not familiar with what like the older version of this is. Did you play any of these games or
The only thing I saw on Twitter was, hey, you can do the NES World Championships right now on your Switch. All these games are on Switch Online. You do not need to buy this.
yeah,
That was
the
my take.
the bundle of this kind of like speed run game was kind of odd to me, but the like marketing of it I thought was super cool, and the collector's edition I think is very 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 like it's probably not something I should get because I have not always been the Nintendo person. I thought maybe you would be into it, but if like you say, you can already play all these games for free. But do they have a place where you can like compare scores and stuff like that? Is that like a built-in system or
That's what I don't know. I saw somebody tweet that and I was like, I'm not interested in this at all. But if
Sure.
there's like built-in actual competitive stuff, like, okay, I understand.
There's gonna be like a bunch of different games and like modes that you compete in. I think it like rotates
Hmm.
like throughout the weeks or something, and then yeah, you just try and like be at the top of the leaderboard each week, and I think that's cool. It comes with a cool like golden cartridge and a bunch of pins
I did
and
see that.
cards and stuff.
Yeah.
I just thought it's very cool. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff.
No, I love retro pack special edition packages like that. If it was N64, I'm signing up. But I just don't have that NES
Love.
attachment.
It makes me
Yeah.
wonder if they will start doing this for each generation every couple or few years or something now.
I don't think they had world championships though for like N64 generation. I think that
Yeah.
was like NES and maybe Super Nintendo. I could see a Super Nintendo one for sure.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll see. No, I love. I somebody posted one with like the Famicom controllers and the sucker for that stuff too. Are you familiar with Donkey? I think I've sent you his
No.
videos before.
Maybe.
Video game Donkey. He's like
It sounds familiar.
he does kind of tongue-in-cheek satirical videos making fun of
Oh,
the gaming industry and whatnot.
yeah.
So he started a publishing label, and his first game that he's publishing came out either today or is about to come out.
Yeah.
It's on PlayStation Plus Extra, which you have,
Yeah. Wait, really?
second tier. Yeah, and it's
Oh,
called Animal Well.
yeah. I was contemplating buying this game, so that's good.
Yeah, we both have it for free. I think if we can, let's try to play it by next week.
Yeah. 100%.
It's getting like tens,
Yeah.
so
I've
you've
heard
heard
it
about this.
called magical. It's like emotional. Like I like it sounds amazing.
I don't have anything to say about it, but people are saying don't look anything up about this. Just go in blind
Sure.
and just experience it. Um, so yeah, just shout out to Donkey and like props. I had he knows his stuff, so I
Yeah.
had a feeling this game was going to be good, and it looked really cool, the art style and everything.
I'm so happy it's on PlayStation Extra. That's very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. Next week, I'm 100% down to play it and talk about it.
So if you have PlayStation Plus Extra, go check it out. Go download it for free right now.
I actually just today brought down my PlayStation subscription because it renews at the end of May. And for some reason, when they announced these like three tiers, I'm sure it's my fault,
Yeah,
but I somehow subscribed to the top level for a year,
I
which
did premium for a year.
I don't think I need anymore. But
Nope,
I
it's a
think
waste.
I brought it down to the lowest level for a year. I probably
And
will
now you
miss some of those middle games, but also if I don't know, it doesn't matter to me, you know? So
wait. So what tier are you on?
currently I'm at the top, but at the end of May it will go down.
Oh, okay. So this is on the middle tier.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, which yeah, that's what I'm at for now. We'll see. I was torn because I also have Game Pass, but like they've been putting some decent stuff on there. Uh, but we'll see.
Now, we have to have at least the lowest level to play games online, right?
I don't even know if that's still a thing anymore. I think so.
Cuz honestly, like
Um,
I don't even want to pay
the
that much
free,
money. It makes me mad.
the
The free games
free,
are nice.
the free monthly games are worth it, and there's still some other stuff tied to it. Um, but I also think there's nothing wrong with dropping off of it at this point in time. I just don't have the time to play everything. I've thought about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But the difference with Game Pass and that bottom level is like I'm you building a library of things that I will have forever. I have like over 200 games through the base PS Plus program.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So I'm very loyal to that. Anyways, let's take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the state of the industry for all three of the big boys and girls.
The state of the gaming industry.
Welcome back. Before we dive into kind of where Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, even PC, where they're all at, that we haven't touched on earlier, there has been this trend on Twitter where people are posting like, "This is the game I'm working on, and this is what it was inspired by," or "I made this game and it was inspired by these three things." It's really cool, and like everybody has been posting, like big level people, and it's very cool. So there was a game that came out called Sable. It was a very artsy looking game. You have like a bike. It's like post-apocalyptic. Not really. I don't think there's combat. You're just kind of exploring. And it was like that guy posted it, and I follow him, and he's like, and it was inspired by these three things, and it's like Studio Ghibli and like this cool anime, and it's just been cool. And then it's like other people are making games that were inspired by that, and this has been going around, and I just wanted to shout
Yeah,
it out because it's been pretty cool to see that like, yeah, everybody's inspired by everybody else,
for sure.
and it's cool to like you feel those connections, but to be like, ah, yeah, okay, they did like that. That is what they were going for.
Who inspired Cory Barlog to make God of War? That's what I want to
Oof,
know.
that's a great question. Uh,
Corey, if you're
what
watching,
would
let me know.
I just thought about it for our podcast. This is what we're making, inspired by these three things.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure we could answer that.
Is it just three different kind of funny podcasts?
Probably. Yeah, probably. I personally, I think I have been inspired by podcasts in general throughout my teens into my 20s. Definitely was like punctuated by kind of funny. I think they were kind of the epitome of what I wanted to listen to and then create. But yeah, I've been listening to just, three people sit around just talking about BS, whatever they want for a very long time. And I'm like, why can't I do that? I want to do that. So I asked you and you were down.
You just had a moment
Of,
remembering of I think the first podcast or like gaming show I ever watched,
what was it?
and I forgot. Like I don't think of that when doing this. I only really think of kind of funny, but like I had this whole like consumption period. I don't know what else to call it. Like way before that, I IGN was later. GameSpot was where I started,
Okay.
and it was they had a show called On the Spot, and I think the first one that I ever watched was when they got a Wii in the studio, like before it came out.
Yeah.
It's still on YouTube. I go back every now and again and watch it. And these guys are like legends of the industry. Jeff Gersman, who Giant Bomb. I don't know if he's still there or if he left. One of the guys has passed away. Like one guy's not in the industry anymore. A few of the guys are at Giant Bomb because there was a whole thing. But I just remember that, and it was like that was incredible back then. It was like we got a Wii, and like the guy was delivering it downstairs, and then they bring it upstairs, and they're like unboxing it, and they're turning it on for the first time, and like it's so simple, but man, that was like that kind of changed everything for me, I guess, and I never even realized that.
There's an episode from 2004,
Yeah,
at least. That's
that
crazy.
episode was if you look up on the spot, uh, we opening. I want to say it's like it has to be 2006,
Wow. Yep.
and they were great. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. And they had the whole setup with the desk and the couch and everything. I was 14.
And you were watching what on YouTube?
I was just a little 14-year-old. I didn't know what I was an idiot. Probably on GameSpot.
Oh wow.
Funnily enough, one of the guys that worked for GameSpot at the time, Greg Kasavin, he left to make the studio that makes Hades now, and he's still
Really?
there. Yeah,
Uh, that's that's Giant Bomb,
I'm
right?
blanking.
Or
No,
no, Giant something Bomb. I thought.
or Giant something. I know. I almost
Super
said that
Giant.
too. Giant, super giant. There it
Yeah.
is.
Speaking of Hades, I
But
have a
yeah,
flight tomorrow, and I really think I'm gonna play some Hades on it.
do it. Jump in there or play Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I will do that too.
Pick one.
I have two flights.
Oh my God. What's your path? Actually, well, no, this will post after your flights, so you won't get stalked.
Ah, it's tomorrow. Post tomorrow. It'll post right before I get on my
Okay,
flight.
then we
Yeah.
won't.
Hey,
We won't talk
honestly,
about what your
stalk
flights
me.
are.
I would love the attention. Please stalk me if anyone out there
Oh my
is
God.
listening to this and wants to hunt me down. I welcome it.
I'll follow him on the gram. I'm an old person, so call it the
I don't
gram.
I don't like my Instagram. I wish I had a better handle.
You can get a handle on it.
I'd rather just
Get,
be the Hebrew Rebels
get
account.
Kirkland.
Kirkland
That's fine. Yeah,
from Costco?
they sell handles. Yeah, don't they sell handles?
Yeah, I guess they do. This podcast is
Yeah, off the rails.
I love it.
It's the same thing about the state of the gaming industry. It's off the rails. It's all over the place.
Yep.
What's even going on out here? We kind of beat Xbox to death, less than they did themselves in the first half to start the show. But in general, where would you say Xbox is at?
Like place wise, or I think I
Just
think
in general.
I think they're a very wounded animal at the moment. I honestly can see a world where they don't exist in I don't know how many years in the future, but like it feels like they could die, which is crazy. But I think I personally don't dislike Phil Spencer. I know I kind of threw some shade at him earlier. I don't know. I don't know what his involvement is. I don't know how much of any of this is his decision. I know he obviously has bosses since Microsoft owns them, but my point is, uh, I feel like they could use some new leadership. Probably, I feel like they need a new direction. What they're doing is not working. Clearly, it seems like they're going in a good direction, and it's like, oh, this is not viable. We can't support anybody, and we have to close everything. So that's not good. That's not going to last. So
I was gonna say at the end of the day he's the leader, and it's gonna fall on him. Should fall on him. Like
that's
some of
that's
it, not all of it.
kind of the point of the job. Is like it kind of doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. It's like things aren't going well while you're at the top, so you got to go.
That's the risk reward. Um, I hope they pull it around. I they've got Indiana Jones coming out later this year, which is crazy that it's coming out this year. They have Fable, that looks great, but like, is it going to be anything? Hellblade is coming out soon. Not for me, but might do well. Um,
It's also
a
weird
couple
how
of
that's
Song of
just
the
kind of like limping to the finish line too. It seems.
I don't even know if it's limping. I think it's people have said it's amazing,
I'm not
but I
saying it's
think
not
it,
going
it
to be
was just a
good.
big undertaking.
It just doesn't feel
Yeah.
like they're making a big deal about it.
I I love that you said that. The marketing for that has gotten called out because they literally posted a picture and they were like May 21st. It was just a picture on Twitter, May 21st. And people were like, "What are you doing?" Like when PlayStation marketed God of War, they have like axes in the ground in London and like billboards everywhere and all this stuff and it's like, "What are you doing?"
Well,
So today they were like, "Hey guys, here's a Xbox logo for Hellblade. Yeah, we like Hellblade." Woo. And I'm just like, is this in a response to the backlash? Like, what is going on over there?
and also they get ahead to like temper expectations. Like it's not going to be as long as you think. It's probably about the same as the first one, so don't be too disappointed. It's like, dude, are you proud of this or not? Like push it, you
Did
know?
they say that?
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
It's weird.
I'm whatever, man.
Also,
We'll
how
see.
long has this
I
game been
wish for
coming
no.
out?
It was at the Xbox reveal, right?
What?
In
What?
2019.
My God, yeah, that's crazy.
So over
I
4 years ago it
remember
was
seeing the
announced.
trailer for that game during the time when the consoles were coming out. I'm like, oh no, I do not want to play that. But not from a
No.
it's not a good game perspective, just not for me. But I can't believe this thing is still not out.
Yeah. So there's that. There's Everwild from Rare. Who knows what's going to happen with that? I'll say this: Xbox still has 100% the opportunity to turn this thing around. It's like I said earlier, I just don't trust that that's going to happen right now because it's been a lot of empty promises for a very long time, and they've burned a lot of goodwill.
Okay. If the question is what's the state of the industry? The state of the industry, they need to figure out how to make games quicker and cheaper. And if that means they have to be smaller, so be it. That's totally fine. But the fact that like
I'm
Elder
with that.
Scrolls 6 has been coming out for 10 years, Fallout 5 won't come out for 10 years, Hellblade 2, which is an 8-hour game, has been, announced, or we've seen a trailer for the last 5 years. Like, come on, you guys. Like, where's Gears of War? Where's another
Yeah.
good Halo
That's
game?
rumored to be
Like,
at the showcase.
crank out these games that are your bread and butter. Like, make the games. Obviously, that's much easier said than done. But like, they just gotta figure out a different system that gets these games into our hands quicker. And if that means they're shorter, I think that's honestly good for a lot of people. I would prefer that, and I think that would help. That's more money for more things faster. I
I
obviously
think
did
that's a
not.
great segue.
I did not solve any problems there, but
No, I think that's a you know who already solved this problem?
who?
Nintendo. They understand this. They are not chasing an insane level of fidelity. They make a game that's possible, that's in their IP, that they know people are going to buy, that they can sell at a good price. They've now consolidated everything onto one system. So they have the install base, and they've got a consistent output of games. Like Nintendo is doing everything right, and I'm here for it. I'm so excited. Like more than anything, I've been wanting to play my Switch. Just wish it was a little bit stronger and we had a little bit extra, but it just doesn't feel like a drama machine. Even
No.
PlayStation this generation has been disappointing.
I think they're
They don't
guilty of
make,
exactly what I'm talking about too. They put out the quality
yeah,
pretty consistently, but
yep.
their cycle is a bit lofty, I think.
And Nintendo doesn't do live service games because they're not stupid
Yeah.
and trying to recoup these insane costs.
Except if they do in certain, like, Splatoon is massive. Like, it's,
Not a live service game.
is it not?
No, a live service game is where you're dropping content that you need to keep selling, like a battle pass, to get people to consistently be spending money. Splatoon is a buy and you're done. You buy $60 and you have a game.
There's tons of stuff. There's the store and stuff that you go on and you buy stuff, and there's like seasons. I thought like it has,
Splatoon,
yeah. There's stuff to buy on there,
I
or
don't
is
think
it?
you can put real money into that game. There's not Splatoon currency that you can put your credit card in and buy.
I could have sworn there was like when we were playing Splatoon 2. There was like the merch cycling merch store in the app.
Yeah,
Was that was just in-game currency?
I'm 99% sure
I
that was all
really
in
thought
game
that was actual purchasable stuff. But all
No,
right, never mind. Never mind.
once how you do a live service game, if you want to call it that, right?
Yeah.
A game with support, but it's different than, all right, how can we monetize this consistently over time, like GTA or Fortnite. um we can talk about Rockstar too. They're one of the only people that can get away with this because they're going to put out the quality. GTA 6 is going to be incredible. Period. No questions. Like, and they're going to make an insane amount of money off of it.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Nobody else can really pull that off. Um, Without deviating, there was a GTA 6 rumor that it's going to have basketball and football playable.
Great.
3-on-3 basketball.
Oh wow.
I'm here for it. I am going to live in this game. And somebody posted a shot where it's from some movie where the guy has like a gun. He's like pulling a gun out on the basketball court. And I'm like, 100%. Let's play some 3-on-3 and then get mad and just kill the other people.
That would be a great feature that I hope they have where like whatever you're playing isn't a separate instance from the lobby.
Yeah.
I want to play it and it be interactable with like the outside world where you just a helicopter crashed on me while I was playing you know, pick up basketball or something, or there's a drive by. Like that sounds really fun.
That would be insane. But that's for next year. Um, so yeah, we'll see. We'll see what else Nintendo's got cooking. PlayStation 2. They're, I would say, in danger of losing some goodwill. They haven't announced anything in ages, except their live service games that they're canceling. At least the Last of Us one.
Right.
Um, I don't know. What do you think about PlayStation?
Well, what is this showcase supposed to be like? It said that they're going to be announcing first party? No.
They haven't
So,
announced it. Remember?
well, I know. Okay, but they said not to expect anything from them until what, like March of next year or something like that.
Yes.
Well, I guess
This
this
is
showcase
going
would
to be
be
a
then
quiet year.
announcing what that stuff is going to be, right?
That's my guess. Yeah. Maybe one thing for the fall.
I obviously don't have the smartest takes on this stuff. I'm not as like plugged into the
Don't discredit
industry as
yourself.
I'm just my thought on if I picture PlayStation right now in this whole current state is they're just taking a nap because they can.
Yeah.
Xbox is blowing themselves up. Nintendo is doing what they do. They're kind of crushing it. They're also not really ever conflicting with anyone. They're doing their own thing. The war is really
Yep.
always between PlayStation and Xbox. So PlayStation's like, all right, cool. We'll just chill until next year because we can afford to. Like, we don't need to rush anything out or promise anything that we can't deliver on. And you guys are going to keep shooting yourself in the foot. So we'll see you guys next year.
At this point, Xbox is just fighting with themselves.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation, they got the PS5 Pro coming. They're gonna make money on that. They're
Yeah.
gonna sell more consoles. They've already said their console business has been very successful. We know Xbox has been struggling, even if doing better. Um, and even with this like lull, they, I mean, their back catalog is solid. They can keep selling those games,
Yeah.
and they've been bringing everything to PC. I have a feeling for them financially, that's filling the gap. Ghost of Tsushima's coming to PC. They
It's
brought,
almost like
I
a
think,
new
last
release, right?
to PC. Exactly. That's more
Yeah.
sales. No Game Pass. They
I
would
hope,
never put their first party games on any of those services
right.
because everybody's going to buy them anyway. And it's the same thing with Nintendo. To come back to them, Nintendo games don't go on discount because you can only get them there and their quality. They
Right.
don't have to discount them. People will buy them. Period. 15 years later, they'll buy Mario Kart 8.
I hope PlayStation just
But
keeps doing whatever they need to do to not be doing what Xbox is doing. I kind of forget. I don't know if PlayStation has closed any studios recently. I feel like no.
I think they did. Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, they closed London studio, which was like people were very sad about that. Media Molecule survived. They're rumored to be working on a non Dreams type game, like an actual game. Um, they have a lot of studios in the back pocket. Like, we don't know what Blue Point's doing. We don't know what the Astros team is doing. We don't know what Bend is doing. Like, I think, like you said, the fact they can just sit back, watch Xbox spiral, and like pick their moves, they might not even have to announce that much right now
Yeah.
and just let everything else play out.
Yeah.
Save it for September with a blowout showcase with the PS5 Pro and just bury whatever anybody else is doing.
Yeah. Obviously, you're going to expect a kind of a lull too after we just kind of finished wave one of this generation. It's like I'm not disappointed at all right now. Like, this is expected. Do what you got to do. It's fine.
Yeah. So I think I want to remind ourselves too, 2023 was probably the best year in gaming ever. I think if you go back and look at like what came out, I could be
Yeah.
wrong there, but it's one of the best years ever. 2025 looks to top that potentially based on what is slated. Makes sense that 2024 is
Yeah.
the lull year, but that means announcements, and I'm here for that, and we're here for that.
Exactly.
This
Both are
channel
fun.
is here for that.
Unlike these companies that are always trying to increase their profits from year to year, we can't keep increasing the quality of games from year to year. It's just not possible. We're going to have highs and lows, and that's okay.
Yeah, and jumps every now and then.
Also, there's
So,
still great games coming out. Animal Well. We're going to check it out. It might be one of the best games of the year, which is amazing.
and look at this. It's given us an opportunity to rediscover Fallout
Yes.
and dive into that and all these
On
other
my
games that.
PlayStation.
Hell yeah. Fallout 5 will be coming to a PlayStation. Starfield will be coming to a PlayStation. These games are all going to end up on PlayStation. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
When? Who knows? We'll see.
We
But
will see.
if you want to know what's coming when and what we think of stuff and through all the chaos of everything, keep checking us out, and we'll be here reporting and giving our takes on anything and everything. Yes, Jordan?
I just want to say before we close this out, if you would please go check out our socials, our TikTok, our Instagram, obviously the shorts here on YouTube, all of which are Huber Rebels. Our most recent video here on YouTube has 8,000 views, and I'm so happy and proud about that. That's so awesome. So please, thank you for doing that. Keep watching them and sharing them. That makes me very happy, and that makes me want to keep cranking stuff like that out. So share it with your friends and keep watching, please.
This is also the first I'm hearing of that. So, hello, world, I guess.
It exploded today. It was amazing.
Wow. That would have been cool to know at the beginning.
Sorry,
Thank you for
I
everybody
wanted to
who's
say it at the
listening.
end.
No, I love that. Well, yeah, let us know how much you hate us and how bad our takes are so that we can continue bringing them to you.
Yeah. We'll be here.
But that's been another episode of Game Chat Tonight with the Huber Rebels. We'll be back next week with more. But until then, my name is Ethan.
My name is Jordan.
And until next time,
Keep gaming.
and welcome to the rebellion.